Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Pasolivo. This time we're going to be doing a happy hour again. Everybody's happy with the happy hour. The happy hour is not only because we have some amazing distilleries around here, but also because it's back to school, which means everybody needs a happy hour, whether it's 9 a.m. or 5 p.m. or whenever. So we're here for you. And we're going to be joining up with Bethel Distillery this time around, and they are fantastic. They've been creating these cocktail kits that have, I think, pulled a lot of us through a lot of these fun times recently. So they are an amazing distillery. The spirits are fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to watching their artistry. I don't know if you checked out the bundles, but the bundles that they've created for these two cocktails are mind-blowing. Consider that herbs de Provence that you use in your chicken noodle soup and in my salad dressing all the time. That's going in a martini, folks. So let that blow your minds. They are pure artists, the way that they pull these drinks together, and it's really exciting to watch them work and their brains go when they start thinking about how to create a new, fresh cocktail that hasn't been done before to kind of showcase our collaboration. It is so fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to having them with us today. Again, if you want to buy any of the bundles, you can hop onto our website, you can hop onto their website. They're actually going to be bundling it up with their gin. So that means that they will have some of our products and their gin all together. So we'll be able to you can just bloop, click it, and it'll all be there together for you. So keep that in mind. And we'll be working with them soon. I see a little heart from Bethel, and hopefully we'll be getting them on soon. And if not, we'll touch base with them and see how to connect up with them. But for now, hopefully everybody has got their stuff with them. And if not, you are, let's see. Yay. Let's connect up with them, shall we? Let's see if they're there. Because we have, hello there. Oh, look, your background is really cool.
We got lots of booze here.
Well, that's probably why I like it. Welcome so much. Thank you so much for doing this with us. The recipes that you guys created are mind-blowing. I didn't expect anything less. But I wanted to kind of talk about you guys a little bit before you start working your magic, if that's okay. Because I think there's a lot of information that people don't know about Bethel Distillery that maybe they should. So you guys are just chock full of experimentation and passion and just really honoring the spirit that you're working with, which is very obvious in the couple of cocktails that you've created today. You guys were the first to create or to have a distilling license in the county. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is actually.
Wow.
Long time ago, but we weren't the first to get the still up and running in Pasolivo, but my dad pulled a distillery license back in '99 with hopes, to make some grappa at some point, which is an Italian style of spirit. And way back then, and it took a little while for us to get the still running until 2013. But yeah.
I mean, he had some forward thinking, because that has been kind of the wave of the future, not only because wine alone does not make a county, but also the fact that people are experimenting more with cocktails, and it's not just the same old. People are really thinking outside the box now. So people do want that small batch created spirit. You don't want to go to the big lot stores to buy booze anymore.
Yeah, no, the distillery thing kind of got lost after Prohibition, and the big guys took over, and there wasn't a really craft distillery movement until the last decade plus, in the United States at least, because it was really hard for us to start a distillery and sell and distribute distilled spirits to consumers. And it's getting easier for sure. And it's also just another thing to highlight in whatever area you're in California or all over the U.S. There's great products to make distilled spirits from and to collaborate with. So we're, like very excited to be able to be a part of that kind of that budding craft spirit movement.
So Max, tell us a little bit about yourself. You said that your dad had purchased the still a long while back. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Bethel Distillery is in conjunction with Castoro Cellars, which is our family's winery as well. And we started the distillery here to kind of explore spirits in general. And all of our spirits come from a grape base. So we're utilizing our own vineyards that we already have in the Castoro world. And we're just pulling grapes from there to make wine to then distill. So we're a brandy manufacturer in the sense that we're only making spirits from grape base. And that was something that was an idea a very long time ago to make grappa, like I was mentioning. But then as times have changed and also that craft spirit movement has come to fruition, we've explored a lot more spirits than just making grappa. And we have aged brandies, we have our gins, we also have some liqueurs, and yeah, we just keep going.
So what I learned as I'm living down here and touring different distilleries is that it would be really expensive to grow grapes purely to create spirits. But the fact that they are at our fingertips here in the county means that you can make higher class spirits because you're working with grapes instead of something like potatoes or rice, which are easier and a cheaper crop to grow, but the quality is going to be different. Is that accurate?
Definitely. And then there's kind of a misconception that, you just use some leftover wine or some wine that's gone bad, for example, to distill, which you totally can, maybe to salvage some wine, but that's not going to make the best spirit. So anytime you can start with the best quality ingredients, you're going to make a better product in spirits. And the difference between, growing grapes to make a spirit from like we do compared to maybe a whiskey or something, so you can get grain year round. It stores well. You can get different types of grains from all over the world and experiment to make your spirits from. But for us, we get one harvest once a year, and we get our grapes that one time. So it's really hard to replicate, and kind of recipe, create a recipe like you would for some other spirits. So our spirits are diverse, and they are coming straight from the vineyards, which make it very unique in the end.
I love that. I always love the fact that I can't point to a restaurant and say, oh, my favorite dish is this in Paso, for example, because everything goes with the seasons. So you may not run into that, and that's okay, because there'll be something beautiful the next season around that is focused in on that season. And I think that that feeling of being focused in on the season is a beautiful thing that kind of we as a society are starting to get into and realize that that's what naturally should be happening. So it makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's a great crossover and something that we believe in too, as far as growing, our own grapes, but also, utilizing what's here and what does well in Paso Robles.
I'm thrilled that we're pairing up with you guys. I'm stupid excited about these two cocktails. I'm gonna stop blabbing at you and let you go ahead and create at this point. Oh, looks like he's paused a little bit, but once he's back, he's gonna create. And while we're doing that, I don't know if I'm paused or not. So these are the two things we're gonna be making today. So if you guys are still watching me, this is the martini. The oh no, he left us. That happens, huh? Technology, go figure. Okay, so we're gonna wait for Max to turn back up, and while he's kind of pushing buttons and figuring that out, we are going to cover what is in the two cocktails, because I have the recipes and you guys might too, because they're on our website. But the martini, they call the Checkmate Martini. And it has the Pasolivo herbs of Provence. So that's a teaspoon, a half teaspoon of the Pasolivo lemon olive oil, I think we've all noticed that having olive oil in cocktails is beautiful because it kind of coats and it has a whole different mouthfeel to it. The lemon stuff olives and the lemon stuff olive brine and their gin. Let's see, I'm gonna make sure I'm pushing the right buttons here to welcome them back in. Hi, you're back.
Sorry, we got poor connection there for a second. That's hopefully we'll stay.
I'm glad that you're back though. I think we're all saying, Eleanor, let's have you stop talking and let's watch magic happen. So,
yeah, I don't know where we got cut off.
You.
Yeah, I was just introducing Carly Higginbotham, who's somebody we've worked with a ton creating cocktails, and anytime we have a project that has anything to do with cocktails, we always go with her to kind of find a cool creation using our products and what's around here locally. And we're super excited to pair up with you guys and turn it over to her to kind of cut loose, use our spirits and also your guys' products. And she came up with some really cool, diverse cocktails. So I'll turn it over to her now.
Yay!
Hi, Eleanor.
Hello.
To be
We
without
get to be
masks
free for our interactions now.
I know. I'm so excited.
I mean, your excitement for looking into our products and what you were going to make was totally valid, because then I saw the recipes and I was like,
what is she doing?
This is why she was so excited. This is the passion I was seeing.
I am so excited, and I have to kudos to you and Gail too, because going to meet you in person and your enthusiasm and just the hospitality you offer just in that brief interaction in the shop in downtown Paso made me that much more excited to work with the product. So I had more fun than I should have probably. It was actually very hard. I feel like I could do this like 15 more times with the same amount of samples that I took. So it was hard to decide, but I'm really excited. I think we should start with the probably the scenic route. So if you can prepare yourself for that. We'll save the checkmate for the end. I absolutely love working with everyone here at Bethel. This has been, I don't know how many events that we've done now, but their spirits in this county to me just taste like Paso. It's a product I'm super proud of. To me, these are very comparable to what you might find in your well if you're working in a bar. It's like high quality spirits that are super versatile. You can make anything with them. So I'm really excited to start with the neutral brandy. So essentially you can think of this as your vodka spirit. The only difference is it's considered still a neutral brandy. It's just a little bit lower alcohol content, so it's not considered a vodka, but it does make it really fun to play with because you can have more cocktails this way. A little bit lower octane, you can have more. It's kind of the thinking. So this will be our workhorse today. We're going to use the Bethel Neutral Brandy. It's totally amazing. And then just as we go, I'll share each little product. I'm going to juice the lemons first. So first, I love this honey so much. I chose to make a simple syrup out of it, so like a 1-to-1 ratio, just because typically with honey, once you add any type of cold temperature to it, it kind of like binds up, so it's a little harder to blend into a cocktail. So I sort of pre-diluted it, consider that pre-diluting it. But with this heat that we're having right now, honestly, I feel like we could almost not even have diluted it. So if you're not going to make a simple syrup at home with this, I would just maybe do only half an ounce or maybe 3/4 of an ounce, not a full ounce of the honey, because that might be a little sweet, unless you like things a little bit sweeter. So do you want to tell me a little bit about this honey? It's just so, oh my Lord.
I'm thrilled that you're using honey as a simple syrup, a sweetener for cocktails, because I'm always looking to make sure that I can get the most natural products together for myself. And I feel like eating wise, I do well, but then cocktail wise, that goes right out the window. And and I'm like, it's in a plastic bottle, sweet, that should be good for me. So it's really nice to see the idea, and it just, I don't know why I didn't consider it, but that's why you get paid the big bucks, because like it never occurred to me. They're there, right? It never occurred to me to bring in honey as a sweetener for a cocktail, but it
Mhm.
makes it a lot more natural, and it
Exactly.
definitely it doesn't feel heavy. It works beautifully with the other
Mhm.
flavors. So
Totally.
it's genius. And yeah, it's an orange blossom honey. It is California honey, and it's gorgeous, and definitely one of those honeys that I would use on a dry manchego cheese,
Yeah.
or on a charcuterie plate, as
Mhm.
much as in cocktails, a tea, on Greek yogurt. So you can use it a million different forms, on pancakes instead of syrup. So it's, if you have this in your kitchen, you're going to use it for everything. Yeah.
Agree. Agree. So I made the syrup just a 1-to-1 ratio. It's like any real syrup. If you're vegan, you don't like to use honey, you could do it with maple syrup or agave too. If you're just trying to stay on that natural plane, that's always how I try to find balance, let's say balance in consuming alcohol. Like we live in this amazing area, so many friends in the wine and spirit industry. We're obviously drinking a lot, so trying to keep it that like as clean as possible. So 1 ounce of that, unless you're going pure honey. And then I like, my number one rule as a bartender is fresh. Go fresh first, local. It's like right up there, fair, local. But fresh is my number one for juices, for herbs, for as much as you can fresh products. So I'll squeeze fresh. We're just gonna do about 3/4 of an ounce. And if you're using one of these fun juicers, you get to smell like lemon also, because it's going to spray you all over. So we'll just squeeze a little lemon. Usually, most lemons will give you about what you need for a cocktail, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on the size of the lemons. But 1 lemon usually will get you there.
It's weird. Nature knew that we needed cocktails to have that balance.
Like
Who knew?
cocktail size. It's so fabulous.
Cocktail
Okay,
size.
so we'll pour that in. And then, okay, this is the fun part. So if you're familiar with the concept of a shrub cocktail, shrubs essentially are like a vinegar, a fruit vinegar cordial that you make for in your cocktails. So immediately when I started scanning through your website, I was like, ooh, I'll do a shrub. Ooh, I'll do this. So the sparkling citrus, oh my gosh, this is just so divine. I want to know all about it.
The sparkling citrus vinegar is one that has just blown up this summer, and I think it is because the weather just tells us this is something we just need in our lives. I mean, you can put this just with sparkling water if you want to flavor your water. It has the same fermentation kind of concept as a kombucha would, so it's good for your stomach, it's good for digestion, and it tastes fantastic. It's beautiful. Obviously, salad dressings, but you can do so much with it. The people who make almost all of our vinegars are local. They're from Atascadero. This I consider the mimosa in vinegar form, because it is sparkling white wine and oranges. And we went on a field trip to their place and saw it being made. And I took a billion pictures because it was gorgeous
Awesome.
how they were making it.
Yeah. I had that similar thought as well. Like I'm big at home, like apple cider vinegar gal, and I was like thinking that's another component. I was like, hopefully we're on the same page. And I'm like, are we going to talk about like gut health and all this amazing stuff that vinegar brings to it? So I'm really happy we're on that same page. So depending on what you like in a cocktail, I made it a little more subtle just for user friendly mostly. I would maybe go up to 1/2 ounce of this, but 1/4 ounce, you still get the flavors and just that little kind of on the back palate, you get just like a little bit of that like bitter, I don't know if bitter's the right word, but just that little astringency is like really, really tasty. So we'll do that 1/4 ounce in there. And then, let's see. So the sage leaf. Sage, normally I'm all about sort of like expressing the herb that I put into my cocktails before. With sage, honestly, just like delicately placing it in there. It's such an aromatic and powerful herb that it'll be plenty to just throw one in. And then this is the other great rule of thumb when building a cocktail is you put all the products in first before your spirit, just in case you have a goof. You're not like, boo, I just wasted 2 ounces of this amazing organic neutral brandy. So again, it is a little lower. It just depends how many of these, how scenic you want the root to be. You can take 1.5 ounces or 2 ounces. I'm going to go 1.5 ounces because I just think we have big plans ahead. So we'll take it easy. Awesome. Okay, next, shake and we go. So I like to, right before I'm about to shake my cocktail, I like to throw a little ice in the glass just to help chill it down. Especially if I'm just making one for myself, then I will do that sort of ahead of time. If you're making it for 2, you should wait to do the ice because then somebody might get more than the other and then you'll have an argument. So we'll avoid that. Okay, let's shake this up. I don't like to over dilute my drinks. If you, it's totally just, personal preference. So I don't shake too much. I just, until my hands feel frosty on the outside of the shaker, to me, that's my probably good enough sign. I am a huge fan of a double strain. I like to have a clean feel on the mouth. So I like to get all those little pieces of ice and maybe any pulp from the lemon, that little sage leaf that's rolling around in there. Just keep all of that out. Keep it all silky, silky. Okay. So I might put just a little bit more ice in, and then we'll top with soda water. Again, just kind of depends how much you want to put in. I say 2 to 3 ounces ought to get you there on top. Oh my gosh, this already smells so good. And then another, feel like easily forgotten component when you're at home is to just skip the garnish. Never skip the garnish. We drink with our eyes first. It's got to look beautiful. Next, you get the glass to your nose, you smell it, then you taste it. So it's very important to have the garnish. Fresh lemon express. That lemon oil is so tasty, also many health benefits. We'll just squeeze that over. I like to take, once I've gotten the oil out of the rind, just run it around the rim of the glass so you get that little zing when you taste it. And then again, just for funsies, we'll throw one more sage leaf right on top. So good. So my name, I know I get a little romantic sometimes with cocktail names. The name for this, I just like that it is a little bit more of a mellow cocktail. It's like I said, it's a little bit lower than you would your typical vodka, lower proof. It's got lots of soda water in it. That vinegar does sort of slow you down a little bit. You're not just 3 gulps, it's gone. So it sort of makes you slow down a little bit. And it's still so refreshing and bright. It's this week, especially weather appropriate. It's so stinking warm in Paso this week. But I feel like it is sort of just a little tiptoe into that, the seasons are changing. We're getting a little more herbaceous, a little more earthy flavors from this cocktail, which I think is a nice transition. So we'll see how we did. Cheers.
Cheers.
We're the lucky ones we get to.
We sure are. Oh, I'm so glad that that's lower proof because I could have 7. They're so refreshing.
I know. It's kind of dangerous, but
yeah. I'm going camping and I can see this in my Yeti, and you know how big Yetis are.
I do. I know.
Yeah.
Well. I do. Yeah.
So viewers, if you weren't making this at home while she was kind of breaking down and explaining it, just go on your website, do the little click and figure it out because this is amazing. So can they get the brandy just through your website? How do they go about that? There's lucky people who live in Paso who can drive over to you right now. But
exactly. So tasting room is open. You can make an appointment if you want to hang out and do a tasting. As long as you're seated, we just wear masks when you come, but we also do curbside pickup. You can call and make your order. You can place your order online. However, it's pretty easy at this point. You can probably right now you could place an order and we get it outside on the curb in the next 10 minutes. So
I can attest to that. I can attest to that because I did that. I was leaving Paso proper and calling and I don't know if maybe it was you on the phone. And I was like, this is the bundle because you guys create bundles. You literally put the lemon in there with everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
And by the time I got there, somebody was walking up to my car and putting it into my trunk. It was the best thing on the planet.
Almost too easy.
Yeah, true.
Kind of like
Hey, need you also. I need you also to create it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, well, luckily with this next cocktail, exactly to that point with there not being necessarily a perishable item in this cocktail, that's why it's so perfect for the bundle. You could grab it and go. It's going to come with the smaller format size of the 350 ml of the gin. So awesome. I mean, this alone is a $35 value, right? Just there for the bottle. So this is amazing. We're going to use your lemon olive oil. You were kind of speaking to this one earlier. These lemon stuffed olives, forget about it. And then the herbs to propose. So excited. Should we get right into the next one? Are you doing this?
I honestly, I feel like if people come into the tasting room, I could say, okay, pick things you could never see in a cocktail and put them together. And I'm pretty sure this is the bundle they would have picked to put together. And here you are making absolute art with this bundle. So get going because I'm excited.
That you feel that way, because I definitely was having a moment of like, they're not going to have me back after this one. And then I tasted it. I was like, nope, I'm a genius. It's amazing.
No, yeah, exactly. You're a genius. You totally pat yourself on the back for this one, for sure.
It's so savory and so delicious, but the lemon just adds such a brightness to it. I mean, it's like, checkmate. It named itself, honestly. I was like, what should I call this? It's like, I know exactly what to call this. So first I'll just talk a second about the glassware of choice. Often you think of a martini, either martini glass or maybe a coupe. This is called a Nick and Nora. It is my absolute favorite glass. Yes, I love that martini. It's my absolute favorite size glass. It's the same capacity as all those other glasses, but it's just like very precious little thing. So that's my little, I'm excited to use my fun glass. Okay, this is so easy. It's like danger. But that is, to me, that is what martinis are. They're just like danger, danger. So traditionally, if you go into a bar and you order a martini, you are getting at least 3 ounces of hard alcohol, unless you like a lot of vermouth, which maybe a lot of people are having like a, moment of like, why do martinis always make me feel so silly? It's like 3 ounces of ginger vodka usually. So for this recipe, again, for the hope of longevity, I just put 2 ounces in it, but you could very easily just add a little bit more of all of these ingredients and make it a classic 3 ounce martini. But I want to make it through this next 10 minutes, so I better not. Okay, so let's start, which is the brine. Super easy. Just gonna dip my little teaspoon, half teaspoon, right into the jar. So are these olives on your part of your properties too, or?
They are not. All of our olives go into our oil. We are small batch, so everything goes into the pool when it comes to our oil. These guys we fell in love with. They are California olives, different types. I think they're queen. Yeah, these are the queen olives. So they're Spanish, a Spanish type of olive, big enough to stuff with something. So our olives are more focused on getting that gorgeous oil. These are they're bigger for stuffing. And yeah, the fact that they're stuffed with lemon rind blew my mind, and I was like, I don't get it. And then I tried it, and it's like one that I can sit in front of TV and finish, and I'm like, who ate my olives? And it's like,
I almost had to come get a second sample bottle because I was just gonna eat the olives. Yeah, they're amazing, and I never had lemon before, and my mind was not prepared to like it as much as I did. I was like, oh, it's actually really like subtle and somehow adds almost like a sweetness, a balance to like that tart olive bite. I just, like I said, I just kept getting more and more excited. Each little thing that we did, I would just get more excited. So,
and they're the ultimate olive for martinis because they're dirty and a twist all together in one. Genius.
Boom. So efficient. So, I mean, I probably should have done the dry ingredients first, but I'm not going to worry about that. If you're at home, you can do that. So I'm going to do a scoop. This is so unbelievably delicious. These herbs you have, now I'm like, I want to try them all.
We want you to try them all too. We're excited about everything else that you're going to create.
Cocktail party. Yeah, it's like you open it up and right away you just get that rosemary and oh my gosh, all the flavors. So stinking good. Okay, so same, just half teaspoon of that, and then half teaspoon of this amazing lemon olive oil. I definitely want to know how you infuse such amazing flavors in the oils.
So this, all of our flavored oils are oil to oil. So
Oh,
infusion kind of gives the idea that it's like a tea where you're steeping it, you're putting some rinds on the top and hoping that flavor comes through. This is, we're getting oil from the rind of the Meyer lemon and pairing it up with our extra virgin olive oil. So it is just, the smoke point is 425. Like, you can cook with it. I bake with this all the time because it's Meyer lemon. So it's got that, it's a tart, not a sharp, if that makes sense. It's
totally.
gorgeous on asparagus. It's great in aiolis. I mean, there's a million things you can do with it. And apparently you can make cocktails with it.
You can make cocktails. I'll admit, I use some of it to make a little batch of popcorn at the end.
Ooh, nice.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Salt, little lemon olive oil is amazing. So much you can do with these products. My
People
favorite,
keep saying there's nothing, no comments except for yum. That looks delicious. Yum, yum, yum. So.
Yeah. Wait till you see what's next. The gin is my absolute, I mean, I don't know, they keep coming out with really cool and fun stuff. Gin is probably my favorite Bethel Road Distillery spirit that we have. It's all the grapes are organic, certified organic for all of the spirits. There's even one spirit on the shelf that is certified organic. The whole product has gone through it. This gin, it's London dry, so smooth. I'm every time I use this product, I'm impressed by it. Even if I'm just making like a soda and gin, it's amazing. So it goes awesome, I think, with this cocktail. So again, we'll go 2 ounces. You could maybe, look the other way. And oopsie, I poured a little extra. Just sauce it up a little. That may or may not have happened to your cocktail that you're drinking.
Oh, okay. Keep that in mind.
It's like a little bit extra in there.
A bit of an overflow, never hurt.
For third, I like a shaken martini just because I like to dilute the spirit. If it's just mostly pure alcohol, I do like to dilute it a little bit more. And just to I'm sure we've seen now adding oil into the cocktail, just trying to emulsify it and mix it in as much as possible. We're going to shake it a lot. Okay, so we'll twist this on. Here we go. That's a little more than I typically would go, but I know that it's going to be exactly correct. You can see my little finger imprint on the tin. So I think that'll be a sign that it's enough. Again, we're definitely going to want to fine strain with this one, or we'd be picking rosemary out of our tea. So we're definitely going to do that. Some people do in a shaken martini, the point of shaking is they like the little like iceberg bits that are floating around in there, but we'll just have to do without today. But I also think the fine strain does sort of help. Like I said, when the oil hits the ice, it tends to sort of get hard and cling to that surface. So this sort of keeps out the little bits of ice that just have sort of like the blob of oil on it. So you do get like an even more smooth mouthfeel. In theory, that's the hope. Oh my gosh, look at this stunner. Come on. I'm so excited.
Wait, you didn't garnish.
It's here,
it's
floating.
Oh, you got it. It's there. Okay.
I even stabbed
got the garnish right there.
I know. So delicious. Cheers.
Beautiful. Cheers.
Let's see.
Oh man.
Mm.
That's like a $25 cocktail right there. I mean, that makes me feel grown up.
I know. Don't you feel so sophisticated?
I do. It's very complex. There's so much going on in it.
There really is. And I mean, I honestly offer a lot of that to even just that little dash. If you don't like a dirty martini, you could totally go without the brine, but just adding in that small amount of the brine gives such a layer that just you wouldn't have otherwise. It gives just like the littlest bit of salt, which then of course makes all the herbs pop. It makes the lemon pop. You get that. It almost feels like you have like a lemon lip gloss on each sip you take. So yummy. And just what I love about this spirit and about this gin is that it has enough backbone that it can hold up. Like exactly, there is so much going on with this cocktail, but it's totally still tastes like gin. The spirit is coming through. So if you want it even more, you could add in, like you said, that other half or 1 full ounce, depending on the type of afternoon you're having, happy hour you're having.
This is for all of the parents who have to homeschool. Do it.
So
Get
literally
after it.
everyone. This is for everyone.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So,
know
I mean,
everybody
the
who's
kit-
in this situation. Anybody who's been wearing a mask at any point.
I know. Yeah, exactly. So it's the 375 mil of the gin. It comes with the 100 mil, I believe, of your lemon olive oil, right?
That's right.
And then you get the full size of the herb and the full size of the olives that comes in the kit, and that's $69. I
Oh,
love this martini so much. Checkmate. It earned its name, I think. Yeah, it's absolutely
yes.
delicious.
This is, guys, if you are trying to figure out dates right now, this is going to impress right here. If you can figure this out, I'm just saying,
It's a nice
guys,
snack.
girls, anybody. Yeah, this is, if you want to wow somebody. I did take a little bit of the herbs of Provence and sprinkle it on the top, and the
Perfect.
oil is kind of raising up a little bit, and it's
Mm,
visually so beautiful. It's
it is.
aesthetically gorgeous. Yeah.
I was tempted to even maybe do like a rim of the herb on it. So you can,
Right.
like, if you want, you can go like, a half rim or something. You could go.
Right,
sneak
right.
if you want. So many
I
things.
will say the herbs of Provence does have lavender in it, so it does have
Mhm.
that nod. It's got that French, Provence type thing going on. So just the floral, the aromatics of it, gorgeous.
Love it.
And again, pull together locally. Here in Paso, a couple sisters pull all of our seasonings together for us. So, and yeah, so that's obviously what you guys try to do, what we try to do, try to stay as local as possible,
Okay.
fresh as possible. You can really taste that in all of the different bits and pieces that you tasted today.
Agree. So delicious.
These are fabulous and so perfect for the weather. I love that you brought in the citrus flavors. You can't really tell, but I'm wearing my citrus dress. I'm just letting everybody know. I did that on purpose. I have a dress with lemons on it because I'm a grown up. Do that. So I am so in love with your stuff. And are you the one who pulls together the cocktails that are then bundled for you guys on your website?
I've had the opportunity to do, I think, 2 of the cocktail boxes for the members that are put together. I know that they're, again, just like we like to get our fresh products and stay local. Many local bartenders affiliated with restaurants or not get invited in to come and create the cocktails that will go out in the next shipment, which I think
cool.
is absolutely amazing because you get so many different interpretations of really amazing cocktails and using these awesome spirits. So it's a really fun way for the whole concept of the boxes. It's like making cocktails at home approachable and easy and fun. And so that the boxes are amazing for the membership. So definitely.
Okay, so
And
here's the thing. Join their club, join our club, and create olive oil cocktail situations. Tag us both in your creations. I mean, it's a win-win.
No brainer. I agree.
No brainer.
Like I said, I mean, I really took, you should have seen my countertop was just covered with all these different options. I'm like, I'm not sure which ones to pick because it was so easy to make some really beautiful stuff with.
You were like a passionate mad scientist, and I was super into it. I loved the whole, you were just like, so yeah, I'm thrilled. Well, we have to kind of bid you goodbye. I'm going to talk about what we're doing next week. But I'm really we're so thankful to have paired up with you. I'm sure there's going to be people requesting that we do it again, me being one of them.
Yes.
So hopefully I'll see you for a tasting in our tasting room.
I would love it. Thank you so much.
You are always welcome, and thank you so much for spending your time with us today.
Yes, my pleasure.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
So next week, we are going to be with the chef for Justin. And guys, the creation that she's making this next week is just insane. So it's, I'm going to read it to you because it's a lot. So the 21st, we're going to be with Chef Rachel from Justin Vineyards and Winery. And she's going to be creating barbecue chicken dish with our lemon pepper spice blend, California extra virgin olive oil, a watermelon and tomato salad with our aged balsamic and basil olive oil, and a sun-dried tomato and rosemary focaccia with our rosemary olive oil. Can you tell that's why I could not memorize all of that? Like, that's all the stuff that you guys are going to be seeing pull together next week for our show. I'm crazy excited for this. The bundles are on our website. So if you were to hop on and buy the bundle for next week, you are set. You are set for salads. You are set for baking. You are set for meat and full-blown dinner. This, you're done. And cocktails, apparently. So, okay, the rosemary olive oil, the basil olive oil, two absolute favorites. I'd say the basil is definitely the sweetheart of the flavored olive oil community. This is our California olive oil, so that's got a really good grassy kind of pungency to it. The aged balsamic, this is something that I slice up strawberries and put this on. It goes on ice cream. It goes beautifully as a drizzle on caprese salad. So this guy, and the lemon pepper. This is a lemon, I swore I didn't like lemon pepper, but this totally changed my tune. You'll see the little pieces of zest in there. You'll see the peppercorns in there. This is definitely a seasoning that you'll fall in love with and use over and over and over again. And it's salt-free, so no sodium in this one. So if you are keeping that in mind, this is a great one to add to your kind of bundle so that you are keeping heart healthy as well as actually having yummy, delicious flavored food instead of boring stuff. We don't want you to do that. Okay, guys, so that is the bundle for next week. Stick with us. We would love to see you again. If you are picking up that bundle, definitely think about joining the club. You're obviously watching. You're falling in love with all of the products. The club means that you're going to get 10% off all of those things that I just mentioned. So think about it. Touch base with us. Let us know that you're watching this, you're following us, you're loving us, and always take pictures at us at Pasolivo and show us all the magic that you're doing, because we've been watching you on Instagram. We've been seeing your pictures, and thank you so much for sharing your stuff because it's all beautiful. We love you. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you this time next week, the 21st of August, for Chef Rachel from Justin Vineyards. It will be exciting. Okay, bye guys. Have a good one.